Welcome to the Maths Made Easy tutorial on indices rules. This is a direct extension from powers and roots, so if you've not seen the powers and roots videos, then I recommend you watch those first, because we go through the first of the 7 rules in those videos. But otherwise, let's continue and we'll look at fractional powers now. So this is where we have a to the power m over n, where m over n is obviously a fraction. So this is equal to the nth root of a to the power of m. So excuse my handwriting there, that's an m in blue there. This might look confusing at first. Usually we use this to describe square roots and cube roots. So for instance, a to the half is equal to the square root of a to the power 1, which is obviously just equal to the square root of a. We can also say the same for cube roots. We'll write them as a third, or a power of 1/3. That's equal to the cube root of a to the 1, which is just the cube root of a, because anything to the 1 is just itself. But if we take this expression, a to the m over n, let's just rewrite it here, a to the power m over n. We can also write this in a different form. We can write this as the nth root of a, and then we can write this all to the power of m. So it doesn't matter which order you write this in, you should get the same value. But what you should do is you should try and use the expression or perform the operations in the order that's going to make the calculation as simple as possible. So when we move on to look at some examples, it should become clear what I mean by this. So moving on to rule 9 then, this is multi-step fractional powers. This is essentially just an extension of rule number 8. So if we have an example, 64 to the power 2 over 3. So in this instance, the numerator is bigger than 1. So this is multi-step at this point. So we can rewrite this expression as the cube root of 64 squared. Now, this is obviously quite a difficult calculation to perform because we don't really want to be squaring 64. It's going to be quite a large number. So instead, let's rewrite this expression. So we can rewrite this as the cube root of 64, all in brackets, and then squared on the outside. So the value of this is the same as the expression above, but using the brackets and the rules of BIDMAS, it makes the calculation much simpler because we're just doing the cube root of 64 and then squaring that result rather than squaring 64, which is going to be a much larger value. So what's the cube root of 64? Well, it's 4, and I'll show you why. So 4 times 4 equals 16. So 16 times 4 equals 64. So let's use the first 2 lines here and just say that 4 times 4 times 4, which is equal to 4 cubed, is equal to 64. So the cube root of 64 is therefore 4. So we can write this expression as 4 squared, and 4 squared is equal to 16. So 64 to the power 2 over 3 is equal to 16. So moving on then, the last thing we'll look at is the negative powers rule. This is where we have a variable, for instance a to the power minus b, and this is equal to 1 over a to the power of positive b. So we just put 1 over the value and remove the negative power. So it's simple enough, but it works for everything. So even if we have a fraction, for instance x over y, and we have this to the power minus m, this is going to be equal to 1 over x over y to the positive m, and what this actually does is it flips the fraction. So we end up with y over x all to the power positive m. So it's just something to think about there, but that's about it for this video. If you're feeling ready to get some practice in, you can do so with our online exam. This is available through our revision platform, and if you take the test you'll find loads of different questions to have a go at, all of which are instantly marked, so you get feedback straight away, allowing you to work out where you're going wrong and where you can improve. So if you're interested, you can click the link below and it will take you straight over there.